4000S and the newer model from Akai, the AV 5000. Now, when I decided to buy this one, of course I went first into the internet, and well, you keep reading, well, you need both and so on, but at the end I have decided for one of them. I will not impose my decision on you, but I would like to show you the differences, and then you can decide which one you'd buy. Now, both of them go approximately $700 out, more or less. It depends where you're living and from whom you're buying it, but more or less they are the same price, and thus the decision, you shouldn't make the decision dependent on the price. Okay, so let me start with the AV4000. Here it is. I still cannot play it because I first have to put the batteries in. Now, I have bought here a couple of batteries. I use here 4 AA batteries, 1900 mAh from Sanyo, which I do think they're very good. I've been using them also for my flashlight, for my flash on the camera, and they keep quite long. When I play with them, I can go along 3 hours, so you really can play a whole concert with one set of batteries. Nevertheless, I always have a second set of batteries with me. So what you need to do is to open the flute from the bottom here. I always use a coin here. I got here 5 cents, and you open it here. So you get the first part off, and then you need to push a clip to take off the cover. Here I got it, and then you need to put in the batteries. What I'm going to do now. So watch putting the batteries right. I guess this is common sense. So where's the drawing? Here one. I hope they're charged. I didn't check it now. I just took them out from my flash camera actually, because I didn't play this AV now since a couple of days. So let me give it a try. So after I put in the batteries, you need to put back the cover, of course, and at the end the bottom, in order to... Actually, when you open this, take a look inside. I hope you can see it here. Wait, I need to get this closer. I hope you can see this. Here it is. Do you see this tiny pipe inside there? This white pipe here? Actually, this is the pipe to get out the water, the breath water, the humidity which comes in. So it really drips out here. So you never have problems with water. This was my first concern. How should I play an electronic flute? So it really just goes out. Okay, so I'll put back the cover. I hope this will function. Yes, it is charged. So once you put in the batteries, you already understand what is the difference between the AV4000S and the AV5000. Now the AV5000, this was the 4000S. When you come to play the 5000 or charge the 5000, where did it go? Here it is. And just open it up. And I'm really pleased with this feature. You have no batteries to put in. When you get this, you need to open. You get the battery separate. Now this is the AV5000, and I just close it here, but I'll open it up for you so that you can see it. I'm opening the rights, yes, here. So you do this once, you never do this again, or except if you buy a new battery. Now this is long life battery, like in a computer. Come on. Here you have this one here. So you put in this part here. I'll get it closer. I hope you can see this. Now it's hanging around because you need to plug this in. Now I got a little bit clumsy fingers, so I used a pencil, the back of the pencil, to push it in. I don't want to take this out again. Just for you to know, you need to plug this wire in and plug it in right. Give it a try. Don't really press hard until you know how to plug it in, so that you don't spoil it. And once you cover it, you have your long life battery inside, and quite frankly, I continuously managed to play with it 6 hours and it still was charged. So I really don't know if it is true that you can play full 8 hours or 9 hours, this thing is always charged. It could be discharged now because I didn't play for a couple of weeks, but it shouldn't be empty, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I forgot it on. Let me see. No, it's functioning. Now, the reason why it is functioning is because if you leave this thing on 10 minutes, now here you got the button to put it on, and then you need to push here the power button, which is just right to it. And if you forget to do this, it will just shut down on its own after a couple of minutes to save your battery. So what you need to do is, if you're playing on stage just a couple of parts, just have a look onto it, if this light is on or not, so that you know that your AOE is in charge, because I guess it would look silly you start playing and no sounds come out. So this is the first difference between the EV4000, 4000S and the EV5000, is that you don't really need to put in batteries, because once you've done this, you always can charge it. And it goes very simply with that. I'll take it out here. So all you need is it's just a USB jack, and here you put this into the wall, and here you just put this in and you let it charge for a couple of hours, and then you're free to play. You also can put the USB end into your laptop and just play, or into any other energy source, which allows you to put in a USB to get energy. So actually it's very, very, very cool. The whole problem with this batteries is over. You don't need to take with you extra batteries, because I don't believe that so many people play on so many hours. So this is the first difference between these both instruments. Now the second feature, the second difference is just one great feature is, when I bought the 4000S, now I've been playing this for 2 years, I keep running around with this jack, which is actually quite annoying. Now I got this other flattened one, but at the end, the problem with the flattened one of mine is when I put in this jack, now here you can stabilize your wire, you can just put it, let me get this closer here. Oops. So I hope you can see it here, should be close enough. So here you put in the jack, and of course this will bump at your belly while you're playing. So it's, for it in order not to hang around, you can fix it in here. Now it's fixed in. Okay. So of course this is a good feature to fix it in, but this is really silly while playing, having bumping around here. When you get this flat jack, my problem is the flat jacks, all of them have also a stabilizing part. So if it's flat, it will bump into this part. So at the end I turn back using this one. So here you get the voice out. I hope everything's functioning here. I don't know if this is on. Let me give it a try. So everything's functioning. You just get the sound out here, and I'll close it and I'll widen this up again. Okay, so how does it go with the EV, with the new model with the EV5000? Of course, this was a problem, so they brought up the solution, which is incredibly good. It's this one here. Now here you have this small wireless device. Where did this go? Where did I put this, for heaven's sake? Oh, here it is. Here you have the small wireless device, which ends up, of course, also with a jack, and you put this into your box, and you need the energy source. Now this is the very same energy source which I just showed to you. Here it is. So it ends with an USB, and you just put it in here, and everything will go fine. Put it back into energy, so now I have energy. And let us see if this thing is functioning. So the idea is that when you're on stage, you really can move around freely because you don't need to put this, wire this with the box. It's just wireless. So. And you just can move. Now I tested this. I put this into my office and I closed the door of my office. So this is the first wall. And then I went into my living room. This is the second wall. And then I went out of my living room onto the terrace, and there I managed to move a couple of meters. So it's really no problem. It has a very, very good receiving. You really can play this very good. On stage you really have no problem. On stage you can move your 30-40 meters. There's no problem whatsoever, and it's responding very fast. This is incredible. I really love this feature. So it really does respond. So this is the second difference. The second difference is that you really have more freedom. Above that, although it is so, out of any reason whatsoever, you can also use a wire. So you can take a jack and put it in here at the bottom. Do you see this? So I'll take out the jack of the EV4000. Here it is. And you can put it also in the 5000 in here. Oops. There it goes. Now, I really do not need this, but if you are playing the studio, it could be well, you could consider using this. Now, one problem is actually you really need a good jack, because while the EV4000 had a clip to hold this, there's no clip here, but it holds fine. So if you got a good jack, it's no problem whatsoever. Above that, you can also go into your computer and play the voice into your computer at once into your software. So I don't know which software you're using, but you can go into your computer via USB, and so you don't need this whole stuff to how you call it, to go over acoustics into your computer, into your software. Just go via USB into your computer and it's fine. So this is actually the third difference. Now the first was the batteries, the second was the wireless, and the third is that you really can go into your computer and play your partition at once without all the stuff around in order to go into your software. Okay, let's continue. Now the next difference we have is actually this button. Where did it go here? The bank. So I'll get it closer so that you can see both next to each other. Okay, here on the left side we got the 5000. I hope you can see this. You should be seeing this. You have here a couple of buttons, and this button is a bank. When I press on it, the light goes red. Can I go closer here? Okay, do you see this light red spot here? When I press on it again, it gets yellowed. So what's the difference? Now the difference is, in the AV, you don't have this button. Okay? In the AV you have here only 2 buttons, and here you have 4. So there's a difference. In the EV4000, excuse me, you have only 2 buttons and here you got 4. Now this button, which changes the bank, is incredible good. Why? You have here a copy of the original bank. So what happens is, you can do some changes, some adaptations, which you also can do in the EV4000. But once you do this in the EV4000, you want to go back to the original setting. You have to plug this into the computer and send everything back. You can't change it anymore. And here you have 2 banks. So this is the original bank and this is the personalized bank. What I do is actually I always play on the green one. So if I make some changes, I just save them here on the green one. This is not so hard. You just make some changes and press here on the save button, which is right to it, and you make some changes. And if you messed it up, I just go back to the original bank. What happens is you have a couple of voices you prefer most, so you push them to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for instance. And in the original bank, they could be number 1 and number 13 and number 52. So of course, while the concert, traveling to number 52 could be a little bit annoying. So what you do this in your personal bank, and you don't do this in the original bank. So you just can switch between both, and of course you can have two variations of it by this form, which allows you, of course, it's different when you play in open air or you play in a room, so it does make a difference. So this is another difference. Now, looking to these buttons, you have here also the level. Now the level, I'll get this closer again. My goodness, this video is getting longer than I expected. Okay, let me get this close and show you the difference. Here you have one's level, this is the EV4000, and the FX. When you click the FX you can change the delay, the choir, etc. And the level is just the loudness of it. Here on the 5000 you have the FX, so you can change the choir and whatever. And you have here the level, you can change the volume of the of your whole instrument, and then you have here the bank and the setting. So this is the difference, and also this button, the power button in 5000, which does not exist here. So if you forget, and this happened quite a lot with me, if you forget the EV4000 on, next day you will have no juice. If you forget this on, next day you will have juice. Okay, so let us continue. Maybe I'll just keep it like this. So the next thing is pushing the voice down and pushing the voice up. This sends it down, bending the voice. I'll just show it to you. So you got this also in the AV4000. Here it is. So actually there's no difference between them. And also the possibility to change the program by touching this part here. Maybe, do you see the light red goes on and off? So once you touch this part here, the small, the upper one here, you can change the program. And you got these two keys here at the front, actually these here, which you can each program to, so you can let this one make the program one higher, one lower. It depends how you program it actually. I don't want to go into this because they are identical. Okay, what else? Here on the on this side you have on the EV4000 you have a MIDI in and a MIDI out, and here you have MIDI out. Here it is. So I have no MIDI in actually. So the 5000 does not come with a MIDI in, which you actually don't need. Okay. Furthermore, you have here. Where did it go? Here is a jack for your earplugs, so you can hear what you're playing, and here it's here too. Actually, what I do, I hope I got them along. Just a second. What I do when you're in concert, you always have the problem, or I always have the problem, I really don't hear what I'm really playing. So I just have these of my smartphone. So if I put them in here, many instruments, once you put in a head jack or headphones, they don't send voice out. This is not the case here. So it's really practical. If you're on stage and you want to hear stuff, you just plug this in, and you don't have this other wire like in the EV4000, you really can move freely. This does not disturb at all. Actually, I have another one, but this now is just what I have here in my pocket. Okay, but this is actually a feature which you have in both, so it doesn't make a difference. Furthermore, what else? Here we have two buttons. They are identical. One button is actually for the setup, so you can set up different buttons. If you press on setup, you can start programming the front buttons to various functions. And here you have the display, it's identical. Here the EV4000, I took this off, I shouldn't have taken this off. Where did I put it? Here it is. Now, in the EV4000 you have this part here. I'll put just back and come closer to show it to you. Okay, let me come closer. So here the EV4000, let's look what we have here. Okay, now just beneath the mouthpiece you have here this part which you can open, and then you have here a couple of buttons. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of buttons, but actually I have only 7 buttons. Now if I look to these buttons, what have I got here? This isn't sharp, I'm seeing, but I ain't going to repeat this video. Let me just go a little back here. Okay, so what are these buttons? So you have the glide button. The glide button is actually, while you play, these are the octave rows, so you play here 1 octave, 1 higher, and so you can, if you touch this part, this is allows a sort of gliding. So this is the glide button, which you can adjust. You have the pitch bending, you have the vibrato, and the breath. So often when you start playing at 4000, it could make some disturbing voices, so just adjust the breath and it's going to be fine. I'm very pleased with these buttons actually, so they're very good. I really appreciate them. Now when I look into the AV 5000, I have here a couple of, no, actually 1 button more. Let me get this close and show it to you. Okay, so here you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of buttons, which makes 8 buttons. And what have I got here? Now I have a filter, I have a breath, I have bite, semi, fine, reverb, choir. Now I really fancy the choir and the reverb, because while in the EV4000 you can adjust every and each sound to have more choir or less choir, or more reverb or less reverb. Here you can change the whole set, which means you can, okay, let me put this clear. If I get one voice, whatever, which voice here, let me see which, here, 3. Okay, so you can go in over the setup and decide to raise the choir, for instance. Now I'll open the, whatever, the reverb. Where's, my goodness, where did I put it? Oh, this is a mistake, excuse me. You go down here to the FX and you go up here to the choir, and here I have 0 choir, and then I start with these buttons raising it to 57. And I'll just give it a try. Okay, so this is an individual adjustment for this one and single sound. I'll just put this back, so because I don't like so much choir. So this is okay. You have this in the EV5000, you have this in the EV4000, but here it comes. When you're on stage and you just want to have a little bit more choir, here in the EV5000 you can just go and rise the choir button, and you're just going to rise it once, so it's going to affect it all, and I just turn it up to 51. Ooh. I'll put it down, back to 0. So it's very easy actually. So I really love this feature. So this is the last difference which you can use at fingertips in both instruments. There's now one further difference which I really love in this EV5000, which you don't have here. Now this EV5000 comes as it is written here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here, with 3 gigabytes of onboard world-class acoustic and synthetic sounds created by Sony Fox. Now this is incredible. The first 50 voices you have here, let me just change this button. Excuse me, I just had a small change I had to... Okay, now here I'll just go through a couple of voices. I won't do all. Here I have the 0, 0. The second voice. just beautiful voices. Or take this one. So what's happening here is that you have 50 real sampled voices. And each you can control with your teeth. Or with the tip of your tongue. So this is beautiful. So until the sound voice 50 have such incredible, natural, cool voices, and from 51 to 100 you have synthetic voices. I'll just take anyone here. It's 75. So this is one thing which I love in the AV 5000. Now look into the AV 4000. Excuse me. You don't have this. In the AV 4000, they're all. Wait, my goodness. Here it's on. All voices actually are not natural. They're all synthetic, but. It comes with a couple of good voices actually, but you can't say they are bad, but they're not so good actually. Oh, I've got nothing. Here. I'm too used to the AV 5000, so I'll put it back here. Okay, I'll do this. So this sound bank, which I bought from patchmanmusic.com. So what happens is, when you get the AV 4000, you have a couple of cool sounds, but it isn't really exciting. So you will need to buy a couple of sounds, and the best you can ever buy are from Patchman Music, no doubt. And there you get for approximately, I don't know, $70 to $100. You need to look on the website. And you can buy sounds, and then you can program them into your AV. You just can upload them into the AV, and you can adjust them. So this is what I did. I bought these sounds. I really don't remember. I think $70 or $80. And suddenly my AV 4000 was an incredible, cool instrument with amazing sounds. I love this one actually. But at the end, you know it's electronic. And when you play the AV 5000, you really are playing a sampler. So this is a cool thing. So, what people say is, you need both instruments. Here you can keep changing and putting new sounds into it and so on. And here I have a fixed set of voices. But these are 100 voices in AV 5000, and 50 of them are natural. So I am pretty satisfied with the AV 5000. I am satisfied with the AV 4000. For the time being, I'm playing the new model, especially because I don't have these wires hanging around. They do give you certain freedom. So much for the difference between the AV 4000 and the AV 5000. My goodness, I think this film has gone very long. Thank you.